Today I fucked up by yelling it's Boy Scouts. Get the gun. Actually, it was my wife, and a couple months ago during the Boy Scouts popcorn sales, or whatever they are selling this year. We always buy popcorn or whatever the Boy Scouts are selling, since my son was once a Boy Scout and was a great salesman, and won lots of prizes for his sales. So the Boy Scouts in the neighborhood can always count on us buying a few boxes from whoever shows up at the door. We have 3 dogs. 2 of them go into a barking frenzy when anyone rings the doorbell. To combat this, we keep a water gun by the door, since being squirt a couple of times shuts them right up. One day, the doorbell rings, the dogs go into their frenzy, and my wife notices that the squirt gun is not sitting by the front door but had been moved to the kitchen. So she yells it's Boy Scouts. Get the gun. To my son in the other room. When she opened the door, the 2 boys were about to bolt until they see the small purple water gun in her hand. Too long didn't read, Boy Scouts at our front door thought they were going to be met with deadly force. Edit, thanks for all the generosity. Dog tax. They hate being squirt but get into water whenever they have a chance, even in the middle of the winter. Spike is the Cairn Terrier. He's over 15 years old and has never barked at people or the doorbell. Pepper is the Schnauzer, and a true watchdog since he's a yapping machine. Annie was a starving stray we found living under a bridge about 7 years ago. She is likely part Basenji, since although she barks, especially when Pepper instigates her, she mostly whines loudly when she's excited. The Deadly Weapon. Highly recommended squirt gun. It has lasted for years, goes to about 20 feet, and is accurate. I heard about it on Reddit to keep cats off counters. I keep that MF thing on me. Found my new strategy for dealing with Jehovah's Witnesses. Did you start blasting though? So anyway, I started blasting. What's up with all the silvers? So anyways, I started blasting. Today I fucked up by making a grown man cry at my work. I debated whether or not this belongs here, cause it's more or less just me being an awkward taco. But my coworker seems to think this counts as a fuck up, so here we go. Side note, this happened a few years ago and still makes me want to cringe into oblivion, and facepalm myself to freaking Mars. I work at customer service at a hardware store, and one of the things that we typically handle are returns. I had this older, tough-looking guy come in who wanted to return a hose. He was a real nice guy compared to the majority of assholes I get who tend to speak down to me just because I'm a girl who works in a hardware store. Anyway, he wanted to return his hose and he didn't have a receipt, so I said I could give him store credit if he had his driver license on him. He agrees and he opens his wallet, and I notice a picture of a little girl inside it who looks no older than 8. Trying to make conversation, I decide to comment on it. Op, me, OG, old guy. OP, oh, is that your granddaughter? She's so cute. OG, oh no. That's my daughter. Fuck, I basically just implied this guy was old. OG, oh cool. She's really cute. What grade is she in? Guy gets real quiet and looks really solemn all of a sudden. OG, she's dead. She was hit by a car. A week after the picture was taken. In my mind I fucking panicked. I literally didn't know what to say, and my brain was malfunctioning. And this is what I came up with. OP, oh, well. That sure is a daughter to be proud of. It's too bad she died. The guy literally says nothing and just starts fucking crying. In record time I get his return done and hand him his store credit with the typical, "Have a nice day." And he leaves in tears, clutching his wallet to his chest. Guys. I told him you must be proud of your fucking dead daughter. And that, oh geez, sucks that she's dead. That's what my fucking brain came up with. FML. Too long didn't read, subtly implied to a customer that he was old and told him that he must be proud of his dead daughter and that it sucks that she's dead. Update, holy shit. I did not expect this to get that many upvotes or comments. Also thank you for the gold and silver. Appreciate the comments that sympathize with my dumbass, as well as the ones that have left me in stitches. To answer a few comments. Why didn't you just say I'm sorry and move on? Because that would have been the smart thing to say, and as I have referenced, I am a complete and utter dumbass. Also, I am incredibly socially awkward and this situation was literally my worst nightmare, so I was trying to backpedal as fast as I could, and in my panicked state this is what came out of my mouth. Why would you comment on the kid's picture? That's weird. Yeah, you're right, it was kind of a weird thing to say looking back on it. But like I said, I am very socially awkward, and was honestly just trying to be friendly. This happened when I was still pretty new to the job, and I had never worked in retail before, so I wasn't really knowledgeable on what you should and shouldn't talk about with customers. After this happened I learned my lesson, and I have only ever asked how a person's day is going or have made comments about the weather. Why do you work in customer service? You clearly don't belong in that department. Like I said, this happened a few years ago when I was still pretty new, and I have since not made the same mistake again, and have improved. I now train people for the job, and I am also assistant supervisor of the department. I usually tell newbies this story when I am training them so they don't make the same mistake as I did, which would be hard to do because it requires a certain level of dumbass and social awkwardness to achieve this. Also, so they can realize that some of the interactions that they have with customers could be a lot worse. Did you ever apologize to the guy? No, and that's the one thing I regret most of all. I've never seen him come back to the store after this happened. I truly wish him all the best and hope he is doing better. Anyway, thanks for reading my post, guys. While I'm sure this made some of you cringe, hope y'all have a good day. Too long didn't read, subtly implied to a customer that he was old and told him that he must be proud of his dead daughter and that it sucks that she's dead. Oh. My mum works as a home care worker for elderly/sick people. One day she was working in a different part of town to her normal patch, covering another staff member. She was doing an end-of-life palliative care visit to an old lady, and said at the end as she walked out, "See you next week then, Maureen." Oh wait, probably not. It was only in the car driving away that she realized that while she meant "because I don't normally cover this area," Maureen probably heard "because you'll be dead." Well, at least the awkwardness was only short-lived. I'm going to be flat out honest. This is probably the most deserving of the title today. I fucked up. You have my upvote. Upvoted. This made the rhythm of my heart change. That is move out of town material. I literally looked away from my phone because I felt so uncomfortable. This is a true fuck up. Today I fucked up by suggesting to my BF that he get testicle implants. I've been dating this guy for a few months. He has a fetish for petite Asian girls, that I know. But he also has a thing for big breasts, which I attribute to his hentai porn fascination, where women are depicted in strange and inhuman proportions. In the past month, he has been making comments here and there about breast implants. He would send me articles on the joys of saline versus silicone implants, for example, and would tell me I'd be perfect if I got some saline implants to fill a DD cup, as a joke of course. DD is not crazy actually, because my band size is 30, which is equivalent to a 34C, but still insulting to me. So I finally had it a week ago and told him to stop making jokes about implants because they are not funny and insulting. I told him most petite Asian women are not big-breasted, contrary to his hentai fantasy. He did stop for a few days, then today again he mentioned to me how great I'd look in a double D while we were out having brunch. So I snapped, and I said well maybe he should get some testicle implants to augment the size of his cherry testicles. Well, he didn't take my suggestion too kindly and went home in a huff by himself. He hasn't returned any of my texts since. Too long didn't read. I underestimated how fragile my BF's ego is concerning his balls, and I insulted him deeply by suggesting he get implants. Edit/update, looks like he is breaking up with me by ghosting. I tried calling him to apologize, since he's ignoring my texts and he is sending my calls directly to voicemail. Frown? More edit. I'm very sorry if I gave the wrong impression of him here. Words are very limited. He really is a good guy otherwise. I know and I hear everyone, he is really foolish in how he expresses his fetish. But I really like him, and his balls big or small. I did not mean to hurt him this deeply, and I'm just so sad right now that I hurt him this much. I feel like a terrible person. I shouldn't have reacted with cattiness that I didn't even mean, because I like his balls just the way they are. One last edit tonight, he just texted back a short message saying he needs a little time before he can consider my apologies. Not sure where this will go, but I guess I'll see. I tried calling him to apologize. This is your real fuck up. Get yourself a guy who likes and appreciates you for who you are and how you look now. He wouldn't have stopped until you either got the implants or broke up with him, so really you just saved yourself a couple months of getting more and more frustrated, or more and more self-conscious the longer you had to deal with him, implying there's something wrong with your body. Who the fuck jokes around about wanting someone to get breast implants on a regular basis? That's just weird and creepy. Yeah, it's not joking at that point, it's just an attempt at manipulating someone by belittling them. I'm sure this hurts, but his behavior of saying you'd be perfect if you modified your body is a massive red flag. It's also a massive red flag that he thinks it's okay for him to make these comments but not you. You're a person, not his sexual object. A person who cares for you would never suggest modifying yourself for their own sexual gratification. Please don't waste your time on him or even trying to apologize. Edit, spelling. To me the biggest red flag is the fact she said one thing and now he's giving her the silent treatment, but he's been saying things constantly. Sounds like a shit boyfriend. Yep. Only a child would dish what they can't take. Stop calling him op, you're better off without him. He and his cherry-sized balls deserve each other. Edit, thank you kind stranger for the silver. A few months, huh? Ladies, isn't this a big red flag? Deleted.